This week, I'm going to teach you how to apply the law of cosines. This law will work with any type of triangle. In order to find an unknown side length, we would use this formula here, which is the law of cosines. It says c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, subtract 2ab cosine c. In this formula, all the lowercase letters, C, A, B, and then A and B again, all represent side lengths in the triangle. Whereas this uppercase C represents an angle measure given. So this formula uses 3 sides and 1 angle. In this situation, the unknown side length will always be this value for us. So this is always going to represent our unknown side length, c squared. And we are squaring that value. So when you go to, the other thing that's important to remember actually is that the angle measure c always has to be across from the unknown. All right, you always have to use whatever angle is directly across from your unknown side length at this point with these problems we're solving. So determine the indicated side length to the nearest tenth of a unit. Here our unknown side length is x. So this is going to be our c value or our c side in the triangle. So in the formula I can replace c squared with x squared. The other two sides that were given, 17 meters and 22 meters, will be called A or B. It does not matter which side you call A or which side you call B, you will get the same answer in the end. So for me, I'm going to call this side A, and I'm going to call 22 B. And I'm going to replace every A in the formula with 17, and I'm going to replace every B in the formula with 22. So to start, we have 17 squared, because that's our A squared. And then the b squared, so that's 22 squared, subtract 2 multiplied by 17 again, multiplied by 22, multiplied by cosine c. Again, I want to remind you, 42 is the angle that's directly across from the unknown. C has to be across from our unknown side length. So this is going to be cosine 42 degrees. When you multiply this whole right side of the equation could be typed into the calculator, and you would be able to get the next solution of what x squared equals. If you want, you could multiply these separately. So if you did 17 squared, that would be 289. 22 squared is 484. And then if you multiply 2 times 17 times 22 times cosine 42, you would get 555.8723 if you round to 4 decimal places. Now if we add these two and then subtract this, x squared would equal 217.1277. Now if you decided up here just to type all of this in the calculator, 17 squared plus 22 squared, subtract 2 times 17 times 22 times cos 42, you would get this. You would skip this step and you would go right to here. To solve for the side length of x, now this should make sense that there's no way this side length could be 217. And the reason why is because this is what x squared is. This is the value when we square this side length. So to find out the actual side length, we would have to square root this value, 217.1277. And when you square root this will give you your solution. And if we round it to the nearest tenth, it would be 14.7 meters. Again, looking at this, it should make sense. Look, the side length here, although a lot of times these triangles aren't drawn perfectly, but it should kind of make sense. This is a smaller angle, 42 degrees. It looks like it is definitely smaller than this angle, and it probably might be smaller than this one even. So if it's the smallest angle, if x is across from the smallest angle, it should be smaller than the other two sides. Okay?